Hello, good morning. My name is Efehi Inobahare. I am going live. I am going to be talking about the empathetic listener. Before I start, I am going to define what empathy means. An empathy means putting yourself in somebody else's shoe. That is what an empathy means. Uh, whereas sympathy basically means trying to understand the other person, trying to be emotionally kind of wanting to see where the other person is coming from. Whereas empathy is actually putting yourself in another person's shoe. That is the difference between empathy and sympathy. So, in becoming an empathetic listener, is actually wanting to see where the other person is coming from, listening to the other person's point of view. That is what an empathetic listener does. So, what I'm going to be covering today is why is it important to be an empathetic listener? This covers both ways: the importance to the person who is listening and the person who is being listened to. So, both the person that is listening gains from it, and the person who is talking also gains from it. Sometimes we do not know that those people that we are talking to is also gaining, and the person talking is also gaining as well. So the value of having someone that is an empathetic listener is also what I'll be talking about today. The value of that, I'm going to be stressing about the mental part of it, the physical part of it, the social part of it, and the soul and the total well-being part of it. The benefit is what I mean when I'm talking about these four parts. So those are the areas I'll be covering in this short minutes that I'll be talking about this. I already defined what an empathy means according to the definition I got down. It said empathy is the ability to understand and share the feeling of others, whereas sympathy is when you are moved by someone else's feelings. Sympathy is when you are understanding somebody's feeling, actually putting yourself in somebody else's position. The way I would say that in the layman's language, according to what we say in the layman's language, is do unto others as you would like others do unto you. That is just the plain language. I got that in Luke 6:31. And as you would that men should do to you, do you also unto them. That is where I got that. So being an empathetic listener means listen to others as you would want others listen to you. So why is this so important? This is important because the person who is being listened to feel that they are heard and that they are human beings. That is number one. It creates a comfortable space for the person that is being listened to. It builds confidence in the person that is being listened to. It improves the overall well-being of the person that is being listened to. It builds interpersonal relationship, which we all know that without relationship, there's nothing that is being created. We all know that. And this tend to affect the overall well-being of the individual. Social well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being, and the soul of the individual. So when I'm talking about the social, physical, mental, and social well-being of that individual that is being affected, that is being listened to, the person speaking is also gaining from it. That is why people say when you share your problem, the problem is half solved. I'm not saying share your problem to everybody in the world, because people might say share your problem because they are not genuinely interested in the problem. I'm talking about people that are genuinely interested in the problem and wanting to help solve the problem. Those are the ones I'm talking about. and that they are genuinely interested in being an empathetic listener to making the load easier on you. And then when they are willing to talk to you, it does create some serotonin level. It's an hormones that the body does secrete in the person that is talking. And that serotonin level, it does help to reduce anxiety and depression in the person that is willing to share. And the person listening, it does also reduces the stress of that person, because that person does also reduces their own anxiety also. And then the value of having someone in our life that we can also share to is that it does reduces loneliness. We know in America that is the number one sickness that a lot of people have now. America is the most loneliest place you can see in the world. Everybody mind their own business. People swallowing pills, not having people to talk to because they just don't have nobody to talk to. They're on the computer 24 hours a day. But if they do have someone they can talk to, an empathetic listener who will not judge them, who will not tell them who they are or cuss them out, then they'll be willing to share. So, what are you going to be? An empathetic listener or a judgmental listener? So, you have the choice to make. I just want you to know that having sympathy is not having empathy. If you have an empathy, it will help you and also help the person that you are listening to. It's a both way street. So stay positive, be an empathetic listener, do not be judgmental, and stay positive. God bless.